Hi ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's your girl Owamie aka Miss Fear Focal, coming back for our entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter. It's at boldly Owamie. Now my ninjas, I'm so excited. I already know when the next masterclass is going to be. I know it's gonna be in October. By Monday you guys are going to get the exact date. Now if you guys I know that video has not come out. I'm gonna film it and I'm sure it's gonna come out on Monday. I'm gonna be showing you guys and just telling you guys exactly what happened on our first master class, and I will tell you guys the date for our next master class. It was a huge success, and I'm just like, I cannot wait, guys. I'm so excited. Planning that ish was not easy and I was so stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this anymore. But after the success and everything, I had such a rush and I was like, we're definitely going to do this. But anyway ninjas, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this chende. Today's video is one that is a bit more serious, and I think that I had to gather myself before I could actually come out here and sit down and talk to you guys, because I felt that it was something that I honestly had to give you guys my honest truth and my honest opinion when it came to this. So this is a story of Nthabiseni, who I'm sure that the hype has already gone down a little bit, and so I just would like for you guys to actually just watch the whole video, because my opinion might not be somewhat something that maybe you expect. So I would just suggest, please watch the whole video before you comment. So basically, for some of you guys that do not know, there's a video that actually surfaced online, and this is a video of a lady that was busy kicking her son and also putting her foot on his chest and neck, and the allegations are saying that the lady's name is Nthabiseni, who I'm gonna show you guys the picture here. Sorry, and they're alleging that she took that video so that she could send it to her baby daddy because they had a fight. I do not know if they were just breaking up. Now I've seen more pictures of them as a family, she, the guy and the son, and it did seem like they were fine. It did seem like she really loves her son, the way that everything. So I was really just super confused when it came to that, to the both scenarios. The pictures that I was seeing and the video that I saw just did not match whatsoever. The other thing again that I'll go ahead and say is that the allegations are saying that she did get arrested, however she is out on bail right now. Others are also alleging that the son has been taken, I almost said by the CPS. Do we have the child protection services here? Is it protecting or protection services in South Africa? I do not know, but basically the child is in a shelter, if I'm not too mistaken, where obviously they're making sure that he is safe. Yo guys, the video did break my heart a lot. It broke my heart. When she kicked the child for the first time, he didn't cry. If you looked at his face, he seemed to thought that it's almost like we're playing or something. The second time as well, he still didn't cry. The time that he cried was when she put her foot on his neck and chest, and that was when he started crying. And I think that the reason why he did not cry the first and second time that he was kicked, because those were like really brutal kicks, in terms of she kicked him and he fell, like he moved from where he was to a different place. I think that is because that child is used to his mother being a loving mother, and that's why like his first instinct was not to immediately cry, because it's like, that's my mom, she wouldn't hurt me, something like that. Like, that's what actually came to my mind. I think that one of the biggest pandemics that we really do not talk about as a country is the mental health of a single mother. I think that as a country we really do not talk about that enough. I think those that are single mothers, most of them maybe don't want to talk about their struggles and the pain that they go through, because they obviously are afraid to be judged. You guys know how it is. If you say anything, then they're gonna say, but that's what you chose. You chose that guy when you were sleeping with him, when you were doing this, when you were doing that. As if the same guys that actually say this, or the girls that also say this, do not know that literally people will change on you like that. I think that I know that there are different groups of people. I know that there's women that fall pregnant hoping that this guy is gonna stay with me, and he does not. Others fall pregnant because they feel like this child is gonna save this relationship, which it doesn't. And then there are those that genuinely just have a child with this guy because, you know, they love him, and the guy convinced them that, hey, you know, let's have a child. A lot of single mothers, guys, the shocking part is that you find the kids they have were actually planned. They were planned by them and the partner that they decided to make. Not decided, the partner that they had a child with. And I've seen a video of this other lady that was on TikTok, and she was literally crying, saying that I think her child is like 5 or 6, that it's been years, but she still even now cannot wrap her mind around the fact that 2 people laid down to make a child, yet only one will carry the responsibility. And so when people talk to say, guys, maybe try your best to not have a child before you're married, or before this or before that, then people now come out and they kind of like try to villainize you. No, men and women are equal. Men and women are not equal. We are not the same. A man is able to walk away from a child. Try that. The moment you give birth to a child, you walk away from that child. Your emotions, most of you, cannot let you. And so I think with the neglection part, the part that also is being neglected is the fact that in South Africa we've got the highest rate of single mothers, I think, in the whole continent of Africa, if I'm not too mistaken. I do stand to be corrected. But we have so many single mothers in this country to a point where if you reach the age of 30, it is a miracle that you will not have a child. Through planning. We need to start holding men more accountable. Men need to get arrested for not supporting their kids. If you decide to dump the mother, you are not dumping the child. So why are you not supporting your child? Having to leave a woman to fend for herself and also fend for your seed, that is one of the most disgusting things that you can ever do. And I do wish that our laws were actually more stricter than this. I saw that there were some people that were talking about this that actually did say that the mental toll that it takes on a single mother, like, it's really honestly a lot. A lot of mothers, guys, they're becoming bitter people, not because of they want to, but because of all the pressure that they have. You know, you're a single mother, maybe you've got 3 kids. This man has decided he's leaving. Sometimes you only see him on the internet, very, oh, you know, this guy is like the dizzer of all dizzers. When you go to the club, everybody's going to get drunk, and you are out here as a mother to his 3 kids or 4 kids or however many kids you have with this person, struggling just to pay rent, struggling just to buy food, struggling just to make sure that these kids are actually fed and clothed and give them even just the bare minimum of life. You're struggling with it, but the father is out there living it large. I saw there were some people that were talking about the maintenance court. Child, I have a whole series that is going to come when it comes to that. That is one of the most frustrating changes that I've ever had to go through. Sorry, as you guys know, I've been in court with my father since last year for my baby sister. It is not easy and it is very expensive. So as I said, I'm gonna do a whole series. It's gonna be on Owamie. But what I'm trying to say right now is that I think that if there's one thing that we should also do, guys, let us not constantly condemn the only one person that is doing something because the other one that is doing nothing. Do I say it's justifying what happened? 1000% no. More than her just being arrested, I do think that she needs psychological help. I don't know what situation happened. As I said, I saw pictures. They seemed okay. They seemed happy. And the guy does seem to love his child because you would see him carrying him in pictures, taking them out and doing all these activities as a family, which shows that, you know, he definitely does value that. And I do think that maybe there's a part where, you know, Nthabiseni village is just not okay. However, let's also look and put into consideration the mental health of single mothers, because I can't imagine that age. I really honestly cannot imagine that. it's really honestly sad, because even after that I started to see these stories. There's a story of a woman that actually took her kids' lives. They were twins. I think they were 9 months or 8 months, somewhere there. She basically fed them poison, and the reason for that, she said that she was struggling to make ends meet. She could not feed these kids, and the man was not doing anything. So what was she going to do? I think that story is not from here in South Africa. I do remember there was also another story where there's this beautiful girl, like she's so beautiful, that actually took her own life. And I think that in a note that she left back, it was that, you know, she couldn't do it anymore. She was struggling to doing everything as a single mother of 2. And I think that, again, as I'm saying, guys, I think that it really honestly is high time that as women we attack the men and not the woman. You cannot say baby mama drama when she's literally trying to fight for her kids, because she's the only one that is doing something about the situation. Now, I know that there are some people that basile, they just refuse to let go of this nigga that has showed them countless times that they don't want them. I don't know how some of you are wired, but what I'm simply saying is that if you are a woman and you're dating a man and he does not take care of his kids, something has to be very wrong with you upstairs. Because what makes you think you're special? If this nigga can't even take care of his own blood, what makes you think he would have good intentions for you, yet he can't have good intentions for his own children or his own child? If you fall in love with a man that has got a child, it's also part of your responsibility to encourage that man to support his kids. Dating a man that has kids, you need to a certain level of maturity, because it cannot just be about you and your kids if he has other kids. We have so many single mothers, guys, that we see them, we talk to them, we laugh, but at night they do not sleep because they're crying the whole night. Where is she supposed to get money for this? Where is she supposed to get money for that? Where is she supposed to get money for that? I look at my baby sister and I'm like, I thank God that I am me and I am here, and God has been so good that he blesses me the way that he does, to a point where I am able to fully support Ray with no problem. But I just cannot imagine, or how would her life had been had it been that I was not there, because, you know, Ryan's father, or not even father, sperm donor basically, doesn't even know a sock, Yari, or even just, you know, a Pampers A1. He doesn't. And Ryan is 9. So I think I'm also saying this to say that I do know that, you know, situations are very different and difficult. I am not encouraging you guys to go out there and have kids that you cannot support, you cannot even afford. I'm not. Honestly, that is the worst thing that you can ever do for yourself. But if it just happens that, you know, maybe you're a teenager, which again, education is everything, is key. You need to educate yourself. If you have got access to the internet, then it means that you have access to information. But I'm saying that, Lord forbid, let's say something just happens and you find yourself pregnant or whatever, as sisters, as siblings, as brothers, let's try not to throw our siblings away just because, oh, she had a child. I think that if I had used that technique with my sister, it would have even been worse. Maybe she would have been having 2 kids right now. But I used the technique that my mother used with me. You know, I sat down with her, I told her the truth of everything, and I told her, listen, I'm gonna support this child, and I've been supportive since her pregnancy. And I think that because of that, she felt loved. She felt protected, so she did not feel like maybe she had to go out there and get love from like guys again and fall pregnant again, you know. And so I think that let's have a heart of caring, and let's also understand that single mothers are also going through a lot, and single mothers, they snap, because that issue ain't easy. You have to cope with the kids that you have, and also have to cope with the fact that I was not alone when I made these kids, yet I'm the only one that is left to have to fend for myself. Again, as I'm saying, I'm not actually, I honestly am not like condoning any of what Nthabiseni did. I don't know their situation over there, but it just triggered that aspect for me where I was like, I think that we neglect and we fail to talk about the mental health of single mothers, because single mothers are really going through a lot. And I think that as a country, we do need to have laws that are actually a bit more harsh when it comes to men that don't want to support. Because one thing I can tell you guys, majority of South African men, they're very spoiled. They don't want to support their kids. That's why we've got so many single mothers here. Sorry. So I think that's what I wanted to say, guys. I was so emotional. I was so hurt. My heart was so painful when I was just thinking about everything, and I was like, my gosh, you know, this is something that we really never sit down and like think about, especially someone like me. You guys know I don't have a biological child yet, so I'm not a single mother. Yes, I would say I'm a single mom when it comes to rape, but my sisters are there, so it feels like I have help. At least like everyone knows which role they're playing, you know. With Ryan's life, I play mostly the financial part. His mom plays the emotional part, and his auntie plays, like, you know, the friend and the one that, you know, they are just so close. She's the one that teaches him you know, when it comes to school homeworks and everything. So everyone is definitely picking up their slack. I cannot imagine someone that has to do all that by themselves. That's wild to me. That is literally wild. To have to make sure that the child has done their homework, and to make sure that that homework is being done well, to make sure that they're actually studying, to make sure that they're passing. You have to make sure that they're eating. You need to make sure that they've got rent. You need to make sure that they are dressed. You need to make sure that you give them the best quality of education that you can. If obviously there are trips, you still need to pay for that. You know, if it's school holidays, you need to take your child somewhere, man, you know, a place where they can play or something like that. Imagine having to do all that by yourself, and doing all that on top of that with a broken heart. As a woman, when you try to talk, they call you a bitter baby mama. When you try to say, hey, but he doesn't give me man, they say, but you chose him. Every single thing is then again deflected and put back on you. I can't imagine such a life. I really cannot. So I honestly do have to say that, guys, I think that we need to give single mothers a break as well. And I think that is very important, that if you're a single mom, or you're just someone in general, and you see that mentally it's like you're not coping, like, see a psychologist. It's free, guys, in public hospitals. It absolutely is free. Go there, ask for a psychologist, sit down, talk to someone, because don't find yourself to a point where you're snapping and then now you're gonna be hurting your kids, or you can hurt yourself. That's not something that obviously we want. And I think that before I actually finish, I do have to say that whether if you knew, you know, of this person or not, it's very important to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, you know, forgive yourself. Sit down and actually tell yourself, you know what, I can start over. What is the thing that I can actually do for myself? How can I better my life so that I can be able to better my child or my children's lives? And again, as I'm saying, as family, please, guys, let's support each other. Let's support each other. I know that not everyone is gonna be like Owamie, that is like, listen, I'll take all the financial duties and everything, but at least if you're someone that will be able to help in terms of, oh, okay, you know what, my sister's out there working, the kids are here, let me help the kids with homework, you know, hey, come guys, let's do this homework, you know, let me make sure that the kids are this, like, put something, get something off your sibling, your cousin's plate. And Lily, please stop having kids that you cannot afford. But anyway, I am glad that obviously, you know, she was arrested even though she's out on bail, and I am glad that the child seems to be in a safe place right now. Yeah, this just drained my energy even more, Shem, I won't lie. This really honestly did hurt me, guys, because it's so sad what is actually happening out there. This woman was kicking her son physically, but men kick and beat their children emotionally every day, and no one really seems to want to talk about it. It's like, oh, it's okay because it's not physical. No, it's not. As a father, you don't see your kids, you don't support your kids. Other children have got fathers, and you know, these kids, guys, they actually realize these things. And again, the mental aspect of it as a mom who loves your child, and you can't even explain to your child where is your father because you don't even know what to actually say to this child. It's one of the most heartbreaking scenarios. I remember, guys, there was a day, this is a personal moment, there was a day that I can't remember if it was Father's Day at school. You know, Ryan goes to, like, you guys know, it's a private school, and it also has like a lot of Indian kids. Now, if you guys know, Indians are very much family oriented, so all those kids, like, they come from like a household where there's a mother, there's a father, and all that. And so I don't know if maybe they were just talking, you know, and Ray came home and my sister was saying that Ryan was talking about how, you know, he doesn't have a father and whatnot. And so I obviously wanted to understand, and you know, he just spoke about it. I was like, no, I don't have a dad. And I'm like, oh, okay, where's your dad? It's like, no, he's not in heaven. But I just don't know. I've never had a dad. And I remember, guys, after that phone call, I cried so much for my child, because I'm like, I'm at a point where I can give him all the love, I can give him all the money, I can give him this and that, but I can't give him a dad. And it seemed like him saying, I don't have, and whatever, it was like sort of like a protection, like he was protecting himself. And like, as a mom, guys, like, that's a lot. So I can't imagine, you know, I'm a mom too. I can't imagine what maybe my sister has to go through, which is why maybe she told me, because she wanted me to talk to him to can, you know, understand, to say, okay, you know what, you know, you have 3 mommies, others don't have 3 mommies, so you're blessed and all this. But at the end of the day, I do feel like there should be laws, man, that actually have to force this men to support their kids and also be emotionally there for them. And the last part, stay away from people's husbands. Because when you have kids with them, trust and believe, some wives are not living, and some wives will say that I know that you cheated, but Lokwam, I don't want any child, and I don't want you to do anything to have to do with anything with anyone's child. And this men that lie to you guys and they say, oh, I love you so much, my wife is this, my wife is that, you will be shocked when he's telling you it's either your body or I'll never be a part of your child's life. So I think that there's a lot that basically goes on, but what I'll go ahead and say is that please protect yourselves. Please, if you are not a single mother yet, do every single thing that you can to find yourself not in that position. If a man comes to you and says, hey, let's have a child, you should actually say, you're actually asking for the wrong thing. Let's go pay lobola first, marry me first, and then let's have a child. Because having a planned child with somebody that did not marry you is wild to me. I don't get that part. But anyway, go ahead and comment down below. I love you, ninjas. Stay blessed. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.